Again. Hello and welcome to Deconstructing the Construct, episode 41. There has been a lot of requests over recent weeks for an update, and I do apologise it's taken this long. It has been a very eventful sixth wave. So there's a few things that I need to address before I get into any updates. One was, there's quite a few comments on the last one, sorry, in regards to how I was looking or sounding or feeling, and that people were concerned for my health. Appreciate your concern. At the time, I felt absolutely fine. 2 days later was another story, which is all connected to this sixth wave that's happening, and I'll get into that a bit later. There were other questions or concerns or misunderstandings, perhaps. I played in Final Cut with the last one, and I did some what I thought was creative editing. I was not leaving the dimension. I was not phasing in and out. I was not doing any of those things. It was just me being creative in Final Cut. Okay. So if I decide to get creative again, I'll be more obvious about it. Okay, and questions about where the information that I share comes from. So I'll try and clear that up a bit more. There is my own personal insights, downloads, uploads, inner loads, whatever you want to call it. There are those from the group, individuals in the group. And then there is what we collectively as a group work on and come to, or witness, or experience. I very, very rarely put forward something that is only presented by one person, one time, without anything in support of that. Very rarely. When I do that, it's because the message has been so strong, or it's been because it comes from a person who has a really good track record with that kind of information received in that way. If it's come from Lilu, I will say Lilu said. If it's come from somebody else that Lilu has brought forward to speak to us, I may just say I was told or we were told, because the identity of the individual is either kind of irrelevant, it's meaningless to someone outside the group, or other than me, whatever, or because it was a personal connection between someone from home and someone from here, or because it was so fantastic that people might get too caught up with the messenger and not the message. So if I say we were told, then it's usually a communication I've had with someone from home. If it was Lilu, I'll say Lilu, or I'll say, you know, the group, whatever. Now, there's something that I do need to address, which is a video, or 2 videos now, that have been put out as of this morning, just in the last sort of 24 hours. The first one stated it was from a secret source, can't tell, secret source of intel. Well, the intel was myself and my members group. Now, unfortunately, the information was put out incomplete, with a twist, and received secondhand. And that information is in regards to the date of July 31st as being the end of the construct. There's more. Well, firstly, I'll address as to why I haven't said anything yet. And why I haven't said anything out is because of what I just said. Rarely will I put something forward that has not been substantiated, and this has not been substantiated. Full stop. That's one reason. Second reason is because this sixth wave has been wow, it's been really hard on a lot of people for a lot of reasons, which I'll get to. And there's a lot of people who are really fragile right now. And we've all seen dates come and go. I put dates out myself all the time. And as much as I hate them, which I keep saying, but they keep coming. And, you know, for me this year, and I've said it many times, is that the 18th of each month has been really significant for me. And when I first received this message about the 31st of July, it was unclear whether it was just a personal message for me, because it was actually answering a question that I had for myself. So I don't know yet just how relevant it is to the collective. So for now, if you've seen that video or it gets around, just know that it is unsubstantiated. It's got a bit of a twist on it. And when I have more details, and if I get more details and it gets substantiated a bit, I will share. If you've been following me long enough, you know I don't keep my mouth shut for very long. As for okay, there's a lot I could say, and I probably shouldn't be recording this video today because of how this made me feel. By her own admission in her own video, she betrayed people. She's betrayed friends. And that's never a good, nice thing to see. I don't believe it was done for any of the right reasons other than YouTube ratings, to be honest. And I think it's highly irresponsible. Somebody may well have namaste'd so hard, blew a chakra, I don't know. But she's probably got a love and light friend who will reactivate one for a couple of $100. That's it. I'm moving on. Okay. This sixth wave has obviously lasted a hell of a lot longer than the 30 days we were originally given as a time frame. And what I understand is that, as Lulu stated in that last message that I shared with you all, it marks the beginning of the event. It marks the beginning of the event, and that during the seventh wave all will be seen. I have been told that even home is seeing more, seeing all, what was beyond their knowledge. I've also been told that the universe is now on one timeline. You guys are killing me. I'm going to have to edit this so badly. All these videos popping up. I've also been told that the universe is on one timeline now. And the best way for me to describe how this looks in the way my head works and feels is that it's kind of like the veins on a leaf. You've got that center core vein, which is the one timeline we're all on, and then you've got all of these peripheral timelines coming off this one. And these are manipulated ones, additional ones, the ones where we have made different choices, ones where we've died on other timelines, or offshoots of this one. And that's part of what people have been going through and integrating, is all of these peripheral timelines of this main core one. And some of them in which these aspects of ourselves are pretty fucked up. And as far as into the future, or like we've been given actual years for some of the others, This one branches off and into the future at least as far as 6059 that we know of. And we are talking a kind of 1984 timeline. And the aspects of us that are on that one are a mess. Myself, when I said that I had, a couple of days after recording the last one, I had a health crisis. It stemmed from a car accident that I had in my early 20s, where the whole left side of my face took the brunt of the accident. I shouldn't have, by anybody's account, from the wrecker who handled the car to the paramedics to the doctors, survived. And it was all of the trauma that this side of my face took at the time came up and out. And it was pretty painful, and there was a bit of time spent at the hospital. So there was another one who actually did die a couple of years ago, and I know the experience, or the time too, because I experienced it. This is the aspect of me experienced it back in 2015. And I had to integrate her as well. So there's been a lot of really traumatic integration going on. There is so much more to this sixth wave than any of the previous, is the feeling that we've got here. It's multifaceted in ways that were not foreseen. So we are still in it. We're still in the sixth wave. There are people arriving at home from all of these peripheral timelines, and my feeling is, based on the way Oliver sounded, which was completely overwhelmed with the sheer number of people, is that it was potentially beyond what was anticipated. And that home are learning a lot too. Much is being revealed there as well. Okay, I can't do anything about that. Okay, I mentioned the big thing that was big for me last DTC was Earth being a being from home, and an aspect of her is what was supporting this construct, supporting all the life, the living and the dead, inside the construct. And I've had a second thought on what that means too. The living and the dead, when I first heard that, the assumption was those who have passed on, and us who have passed on but still caught and trapped inside the construct. But it may actually mean something else entirely, or as well, which is the programs, the bots, the stuff that is not self-sustaining through heart source or connection to source or something like that. It could mean that as well. I don't know. Just something to contemplate, I guess. However, Earth withdrew. She literally evacuated the construct back on, what was the date? 5th of June. This is something the group and myself all navigated in real time. It only took, it was hours, but it was hours. And we navigated her withdrawal, yeah, like I said, in real time. That has also added to what's going on here and how we're experiencing it. I was reassured, because I had to ask the question, because for those who have that belief that Earth, Gaia, Sophia, whatever you want to call it, is the planet itself, and is in pain and suffering. I had to ask if this being that we've been told is the being that supports all life here, has she in any way, shape or form been harmed by her experience? And I got an unequivocal no, not at all. She herself said that she feels lucky to have supported this place, and so will we once it's all done, because it is never to be repeated and a one-off. And if you've been here, then that's a story that you and you alone will have. So, okay, people who had no idea, people outside this group that I work with, were messaging myself and friends and asking what just happened. I'm feeling this overwhelming grief or sadness or a disconnect. I can't connect to nature. I can't connect to the earth. I can't connect to Gaia. I can't connect to whatever, and I'm just feeling overwhelmed. I should get rid of that. Thank you. So which is yet another layer of what we're experiencing during this sixth wave. She is now supporting home, is what I've been told. I also asked whether, because as I said in the last one, that the galactic realm has been wiped. I wanted confirmation that all realms have been wiped, and was told yes. We are also seeing, and we were warned about this back when Argos when Argos first came through, and the introduction of the red dragon, was that people would start leaving. It was also mentioned in regards to, these waves, that depending on where you are needed most, here or at home, would be where these aspects are going. We're either going to integrate them here or they'll go home, and some will become weaker here and some will become stronger here, because it'll depend on where they're needed. It depends on the soul. And we are seeing people leaving suddenly, dramatically, and in large numbers. From what I understand, the death rate this year alone has skyrocketed. The suicide rate has skyrocketed. We're seeing people a friend of mine had a perfectly healthy, active, elderly, but perfectly healthy and active woman just die in her sleep one night. No warning. We've got young people being diagnosed and given very short, what's the word? Not much hope, put it that way. And it's hitting home, I've had that too. I got news yesterday about a friend. It's going to be tricky to navigate this next little bit. And I do feel like, unfortunately, this is not going to be, it already isn't, the ultra positive love and light kind of experience for the next few weeks, well, months. Because so much is going on, and not everybody has a narrative of any kind to put it into and make sense of. So for those of you who do, there may be a call for you to be very busy and have extra support over the next few weeks. I've also been told by one of the beings who was from the year 6059, who is now at home, that in his timeline, 2018 was known as the year of the end. And for his timeline, there was a huge gap. There was no information at all, or no records between 2018 and 4100. And I've got some suspicions as to why, but that's all they are right now. And if I get more on that, I'll elaborate. But what else? Okay, getting back to, I have to kind of go back there. That the event, yes, I was given a time and a date of the 31st of July at 12:37 a.m., presumably my time. But again, not substantiated. I was told that it will be different for everyone and that it could take up to 4 weeks. It depends on the person and it depends on their perspective. It depends on what they can handle, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to see anybody, please, hang your hat on that. Please. What I have been told also is that between now and then, I mean, if you're not watching the skies, you should be, because that's where it all is. That's where it's all going to be seen. The captures from all over the world at the moment are just phenomenal, and I've got a video I want to show you actually. But I've been told that for those who die between now and the event, the moment of the event, are all helping, they're all participating. There will be a flash as they break through the dome. That's how it was described. And eventually enough will break through the dome and open the whole thing up and we will see home. Okay, that's, now if that is literal, awesome. If it's not, if it's a metaphor for something, then I don't know what that is yet. What else? I think that's it. But here's a snippet. I'll credit the video in the description and on the website. You can watch the whole video because there's really some good captures in this video.
Shadows on the blue of the sky, and you know what else? A glitch in the matrix. There it is. You guys, take a really long, clear look at what's behind these clouds. Look at what this is. I was shooting on RAW, and when I added an infrared filter to these, the blue of the sky just fell away. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. And all that it showed behind was, I don't know, the sacred geometry of the earth, I guess. What it looks to me is like a hologram type system. Maybe metal in nature. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what it's made out of. I'm not sure who put it up there or when it went up there, but all I know is I really want you guys to pause this and take a look at what I'm showing you here. These are geometric patterns and shapes, and they take up the entire sky. And just to be clear, those clouds and those...
He goes on to explain that he was using a 6K camera. And there's some incredible captures right throughout that video, so I will post it. The channel is Boogeyman. And he published that on April 27. That was another Russ find. Good work. All will be seen. So, and from what I can understand, it'll be seen in the skies more than anywhere. I do have a feeling that there is some, you know, the von Braun kind of fake alien invasion thing possibly being discussed amongst them, and attempts to potentially put that into action. But I think everything they would use in order to do it is failing. That's my feeling at the moment. What I'm seeing is more and more evidence that the loss of control is working its way up the hierarchy. The UN and its recent decisions and votes on certain subjects, that countries are openly speaking out and against others, tells me it's gone up pretty high. When you look at where the focus is in mainstream media and what they're trying to distract you with, it's very telling. I did receive a message. I don't know if you guys remember, but some time ago, Lulu said that she had spoken to hundreds of communities. She called them communities. Did she mean the same thing that we call dimensions and realms and what have you? I don't know. They appeared to all be inside the construct, because she said they all have a different idea of what this construct is. We did hear from someone who would potentially be from another one of these communities. And he used the words migration. He said, we are all migrating. Just like the animals do in your realm at the change of seasons, it is a change of season for us all, and we are all migrating. Okay. Physically, there are many people who are experiencing like an expulsion, stuff coming out of the skin. And if you're doing that, I would have a look back over recent weeks, months, and at the symptoms you've been experiencing, and has it started from the very depths, like from the bones, and then the muscles, and then organs, and then because it seems like we are cleaning ourselves up from the depths, from the inside out. It's finally showing up on the skin in the form of rashes, or, you know, the nanotechnology coming out of your skin, or like old illnesses that get buried in the nervous system, that sort of thing. Happy editing, yeah, thanks. It's going to be a job and a half. All right, thank you. I don't expect it to be this long before the next update. Be gentle with yourself and others, because this is a rough one. And all will be seen. And that's already happening. So thank you very much. Bye. Hello, this is a PS that I'm taking on to the end of the previous recording, because there's a couple of things I forgot to mention. One is that I was told this would end with the greatest flash the universe has ever seen. I mentioned earlier that as people are dying, leaving the construct, they will be creating flashes that will pierce the dome. But the big flash, I was told the volcanic and earthquake activity is the beginnings of this process. Okay, so I also mentioned that Earth has evacuated. She is no longer here at all, connected to this realm, supporting this realm. And that has implications, obviously. Within about 3 days, it was noticed by those who are connected to, communicate with, or can energetically feel the fairy realm, that many of them have gone. Those spaces and places feel energetically dead now. There's no fairy life. There may well be cleanup crew in the fairy realm, just like there is in this realm for us. So a few stragglers, but I'm keen to hear if, for those of you who also connect to the fairy realm, whether you've noticed an absence as well. They've left. Those of you who connect with the dragons, again, within about 3 days after Earth left, all the dragons I know were really, really feeling hit hard, disconnected, lost, empty, grief. And I was told it's because the dragons protect the life in here, and there is no life left to protect. Now, if Earth is the being that was supporting the life, the dragons were the ones protecting her and protecting that flow of life. And there's nothing left to protect. So they're feeling a bit lost. I'm also keen to hear from anybody really who has normally got that connection to nature or to other realms, whether you've seen a shift, felt a shift, or what you would call Gaia herself. And maybe you just didn't understand what had happened or where it had gone. That may explain it for you. And I think that's it. Thank you.